Mayang adlaw, kamusta? This is Ben from Ben in Cebu. First off, right off the bat, please like this video and hit that subscribe button and drop comment. That really helps me grow my channel, and it doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe on YouTube. It's all free, so consider doing that for me. It'd be a big help. So, what kind of advice can I give to you, the prospective expat that is considering coming here? Number one thing, which I've said before in the past, is take your time, man. Don't come here and just settle right into something and throw all your money into a town. Get the feel, get the vibe, and see if it's right for you. Don't just see something online and go, this is perfect for me, because it might not be. It's like I said before, when vloggers give advice and you see a vlogger, you might think that's absolutely where I need to go and where I want to go, but you get there and it's just not the same kind of dynamic for your personality that worked for the guy that you were that was resonating with you. So definitely, when you come to the Philippines, don't just dive right in. Dip your toes, stop and smell the roses, man. Feel the vibe. People are so concerned about their budget when they first get here. I know that's one thing. When I come here, I gotta be so careful with my money when I first get here, and then in hindsight, I realized, man, I should have done this, I should have done that. One thing that I do suggest is, once you are settled, to get your own transportation. I know a lot of people are not into driving, but to me, having my own transportation offsets all the haggling and all the hassle of getting the skin tax on the taxis and the tricycles and the jeepneys are pretty safe, but sometimes they'll still overcharge you there, but a lot less. But yeah, man, don't just throw it all in there and go head first into something. Stay in a hotel for a month. What was I saying? A lot of people are concerned about their budget, and they think, well, if I stayed in a hotel for a whole month, that would be a lot of money. But if you're considering staying here for the rest of your life, you can get a hotel for like 1,000 pesos a night, and 30 days, that's 30,000. And most expats, they don't want to live in a place like I do, like right here, that's low cost. They want to spend like 15, 20, something upwards of that. 300 bucks a month, 500 bucks a month is nothing to them. So it's a good investment to stay in a hotel for the first month and see if that town is where you really want to go. And in the same token, before you make that decision, go somewhere else and check that out for a week or two. And since you got the money, man, long term, be smart about it. It's wise to take your time and make sure that place is for you. And then the same thing goes for the girls. That's what dudes do. They meet the first girl because they're in the States and they're lonely, and they come here and they don't realize that you're a commodity and you're a target. And the first girl that comes along and sweet talks you and passes all your little tests, it might not be the perfect fit for you. So don't just dive right into that either. You got to take your time, slow your roll, slow it down. These are the most important things. Where you live and who you choose to invest all your time, energy, and emotion into, because you make the wrong choices on either one of those and you're gonna hate it here. And the potential for you to have a bad experience grows exponentially if you make decisions in haste in those two in regards to those two things. Um, Other thing is realize what your comforts are, and don't delineate from them, because if you sacrifice like aircon or the type of food that you need to eat, if you're compromising on those two things and other things, your creature comforts are huge. And if you're the kind of person that just needs tacos, and you need salad, or whatever it is, um, make sure that you got those options for yourself, because otherwise you're gonna feel shortchanged and you're gonna feel like you're cheating yourself. So um, those things are huge, in order for you to have a successful experience in the Philippines. Most people that come here, they go through bumps and bruises, and they either hate it or they stick with it and they learn from their mistakes, and they make things better for themselves. But they had to go through a lot of hardship and struggle and trials and tribulations in order to get past those hurdles. um, but if you go slow in everything, and you you kind of integrate into the country, and um, you give yourself a lot of options and experiences, then you're obviously going to figure out what you like, right? You're obviously going to figure out what and what you don't like, and that's really, really important. The guys that come here and they rush into things, those are the ones that leave and say, "Oh, I hated it here. I didn't like the garbage. I didn't like the noise. I didn't like the language barrier." Because yeah, the Filipinos, they speak English, but it's not like what we would consider like fluent. Um, there are some people here that are really adept at the language, but then when it gets to more advanced kind of stuff, um, you discover that a lot of things fly right over the head, like you know simple things like how are you doing, right? If you say how are you doing to a lot of Filipinos, they'll tell you what they're doing, and they won't understand that you're asking them how are they. So instead of saying how are you doing, you have to be very uh, um, pinpoint in your language, and you say how are you. Like for me, um, I I you it's natural for us to speak the way that we're used to, which is kind of slang, and slang is something that a lot of them don't understand. So you have to be more direct and simplify your language. And for a guy like me, who has a pretty extensive vocabulary, um, I stumbled a lot with that. I struggled a lot with that, because I would be more articulate and more advanced in my speech, and realize that it was not good communication. So which can be kind of a catch-22, because since you live here a long time and you're not speaking to a lot of foreigners, you kind of lose your ability to be more advanced in your language. And that's something I prided myself on for decades. Was learning, a more elevated kind of way to speak. And a lot of times that is, you know, not a good approach here. Most times, even with like really, really educated people, you still have to be conscious of the way that you speak to people. So important. Go slow. Let yourself adapt. Find your comfort zone, and see how much that's going to cost you, and act accordingly. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Stay tuned, for my future upcoming videos. I'm going to be profiling and meeting some cool people on another island and checking out the scene there. And I'm going to show you guys all that, and hopefully, you know, I'll bump into other interesting things along the way, and it should be really, really interesting in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit that like button and drop comments, because liking and commenting help the algorithm and get me more views and get me more exposure. And it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, so please consider, you know, subscribing and hitting that like button for me. So thanks a lot, and have a blessed day.